I do not have at least a mortgage on my property presently. Although if I had that information, I could help other people perhaps. But
right,
obviously what you were saying earlier, that since we are tenants on our own property, someone has some control over that.
Yeah, the trust deed. Whose name is it in? The trust deed. Go to your county clerk and find out. And if it's still in the lender's name, what they usually do, and I don't want to go down a big old rabbit hole, but at closing, they do not assign the trust deed. They leave it open. That's so they can steal your property back later. So you need to go accept it.
I've got another one for you. There's a book which a guy is constantly updating. It's called Clouded Titles. Dave Krieger, I think, is the fellow's name. Clouded Titles. The website where you can get it is thepowermall.com, thepowermall.com. You won't find it in Barnes & Noble, believe me. But it's Clouded Titles.
And what is that? The tower, what?
Thepowermall.com. The powermall.com. That's Joyce Riley. The Power Hour is her radio show. If you guys listen to it, you'll hear my voice. Thepowermall.com is the source for that book. David Krieger's Clouded Titles, because it's such a wide subject. I don't know how one could synopsize it in less than 16 hours.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. There's something else I need to mention here, folks. For new listeners, we are pretty much cutting edge. We've broken a few things loose. For instance, we've done a show on relationships, and I know I did it, and it's not that I'm trying to tout me, believe me, but we want your marriage to be intact. We want your family to be intact when this is over. Dig into the archives, and you will find some amazing shows here, because this is the first platform I've ever had to speak my piece, uncensored. And also, you got to realize that there are more people listening to Blog Talk Radio than a lot of MSNBC shows, okay? So there are a whole lot more of us who are learning the truth than you think. And eventually, if you get this going, the county project going, and start talking with more people and scheduling telephone conference calls to tell people about these things, form telephone trees to surround these thugs racketeering. You might look up the code for racketeering, and these guys show up at your door and say, would you fellas tell me what this code's all about, because it's a racketeering code. I mean, there are all kinds of things which are going to be coming out on Blog Talk. And Freedom Reigns is cutting edge, believe me, because I know the difference.
Right. I want to take a moment, Rationale. I want to thank you for calling in with your question. It's appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes.
All righty. Okay, Drake, you were speaking here before our caller came in.
Drake, you're so polite.
You what now?
You're so polite.
I try.
You were speaking here before our caller came in, so I'm going to let you go ahead and continue.
Well, if I could remember back that far, I'd probably continue just fine. But
and I am sorry.
You have something.
It's not a problem. The thing that people have to look at is not the symptoms of what's going on, but what's really going on. That's the difference between the word propaganda and truth. Now, there's an interesting little thing about the word propaganda. It's a Spanish word.
Yep.
And it means trash.
Yep.
Now, so, somebody that propagandizes is putting out trash. Now, there's always a reason for that. To go the step further, you have to understand that you do not have 20 or 30 of the heads of major, and I'm talking about major banks. These guys make millions per year on their salaries and whatnot. They don't just drop off like flies for no reason. This means that the basis for the banking system is in deep doo-doo. And the doo-doo is getting ready to hit the circular oscillator and make a mess.
Yeah, they're not just all discovering a great new vacation spot and they all want to go together.
No, it's sort of like a bug flying along the interstate, and he hits the windshield, if you think about it, there is a last thing that goes through a bug's mind when he hits the windshield. I would categorize each one of these people that have been doing this for so many years in that area.
Oh, let me explain why they're so crazy. If you were a king, because they're trying to put us back into the feudal system, if you were a king way back when and you were surrounded by your knights had to be yes men. And if your knight wasn't a yes man, it was off with his head. So these people are delusional. They're beyond insane all the way to evil. Understand that the hardest pill I've had to swallow is the fact that anybody can be that evil. I get about 99% down, then I gag on it. But they are that evil. And understand, real simple, we have no reason to lie to you. But there have been millions of people who've been paid to lie to you.
But they do have a lot of reason to lie to you.
Yeah. They've been paid off, or they've been coerced, or they've been blackmailed. You say the wrong thing, and
or they've been raised into it.
Right. Eisenhower leaves the office, and he gives a message, and somebody dropped a book or something. He freaks and he jerks. He thought he's going to get shot for telling the truth. So you never know who's under whose gun. But just keep seeking the truth, and you'll find it. But you got to know to look. We're just bringing up issues so that you will.
But is that line from the Bible? Seek, and ye shall find.
Knock, and the door will be open to you. So it's very simple. But you have to seek it. Now, if you don't seek it, you won't find it. And the only problem that can't be solved is a problem not addressed. So you're going to have to do a lot of digging on your own to verify this in your own heart and mind. The only thing I can do is I can put the cards out on the table. You can pick it up and look at it and say, well, I'll verify it, yes, no, and go from there. But I have no reason to lie to you. I'll be honest with you. I have told the truth about the International Property Maintenance Code 6 years ago, about 5.5 years ago, and the life has been very interesting for me ever since. They've tried to destroy me financially. If the FBI has been out here, I turned them into truthers, and here's how I did it. Because I saw the light bulbs going off in their head, boom, 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 boom. I said, gentlemen, if 1 out of 10,000 people living in America in 2001 had been an Islamic terrorist, with all this tracking, tracing, and surveillance, shouldn't we have seen at least 25,000 of them parading across our TV screens in chains? It's bogus, folks. Julius Caesar did the same blasted thing. They just quit sucking up their stuff.
Yeah, there's no war. There's no terrorists to be at war with. Every time we see some so-called terrorist action in this country, it's a false flag. They're setting it up to scare the bejesus out of everybody so that we'll say, oh, save us, save us. You can take our liberty. Just make us safe.
And they're trying to intimidate the daylights out of us. In Nazi Germany, the Gestapo could go up to a man and make him drop his pants and show his private parts, see whether he's circumcised or not, so whether he's Jewish or not. This is all about intimidation. Because all these terrorists, we got to stick our hands in your pants at the same time with your baby, buddy. This is sick. This is sick. And if you'll see it as such and address it as such, they're perverts.
And how many terrorists have been arrested since the TSA started assaulting Americans?
Where are they? Have you heard of anybody in your county who's even threatened by a terrorist?
But the Kool-Aid's so yummy.
Oh, no, it is honestly sickening sweet.
Well, folks, I tell you what, your best friend is the person who tells you the truth, even if it hurts them to do it. And even if it hurts you, your best friend will tell you the truth. That's what we're trying to be. On the other hand, the person who agrees with you most of the time, there's a real good chance he just might be a con man. So it's much better to accept the painful truth than a sweet and sicky lie.
Yep.
Yeah, the truth only hurts for a few minutes till you figure out, now, wait a minute, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to put up with that.
And ignorance is a very short-term form of bliss. Like my dad said, they'll either learn or die learning. My dad was very arrogant. He said, well, we know the truth, and they'll let the poor dumb masses, they don't want to hear the truth anyway, so just shut the bleep up and don't worry about it. He was arrogant. I'm not. I try not to be anyway. But he was an intellectual elite, all right? He was. And had 2 patents to his name, just an amazing person. But I'm telling you right now, you're ready to hear the truth. Otherwise, you would have hung up. But it's the truth is very simple. Now, the lies are complex. I think of economics not as a science. Even as a subject, it might be like along the lines of home economics or shop. Economics is super simple, but the crap they put out there and call it economics, oh, for crying out loud. I knew a guy had a PhD in economics from West Virginia University. As of 10 or 12 years ago, he argued with me that the Federal Reserve was private. I didn't bother to argue with him. So understand that the truths which we tell you are extremely simple. The lies are complex.
Right. They are. Well, guys, we're narrowing down here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're getting down here. So, Terry, did you want to add something else? Real quick?
No. I want to thank Drake and Jim for taking up so much time. I did a lot of cleaning up fire damage while we were talking.
I would like to extend an invitation. I know there are people out there sitting on truth right now. You're sitting on it because you don't know how to bring it out. And I'm going to tell you something. You've heard me run my mouth. And as I said, I've had the FBI and all this other trash. This is not about me. But they haven't killed me yet. But if you're sitting on truth, I think you're safer to roll it out now than ever before. And this is a good forum to do it. I would like for you to contact Deatra if there's a story out there which you know needs to get out because you care enough about other people to get that story out. Contact Deatra because we know there are more stories out there. We know it. Just be responsible and honest.
And there's 310 million Americans, and millions of us are now awake, and we do know the truth. It has become a colander for them. They can't plug the holes. There's too many. So they're not going to come after you.
You're safer now than ever before.
There's too many of you.
Yeah, hey, guys, we got another caller in. Larry, you're open.
Okay, hi, guys. Hey, Jim, this is Larry. I called last week. The truck driver.
Okay,
anyway, you're right about this being evil. And it's evil beyond people's wildest imaginations.
Normal people.
These people know that if they do things that are so heinous and so insidious, people won't believe it. Okay? They're Luciferians. But people won't believe it. People won't believe that sodium fluoride is a poison. I mean, you can talk to them till you're blue in the face, and they just look at you like, oh, they wouldn't do that to me.
Yeah, Hitler was the first one to use that to control the people.
Well, actually, the Russians were.
Yeah, the Russians.
Hitler got it from the Russians.
Well, he did use it. War II. Yeah. Thank you for that.
You know, I tell people, look, this is the same government that put syphilis in vaccines. I think it was Tuskegee, not the airmen, the town. And they put plutonium in shots and told people, well, we want to see what this does to you. This government knew, they're megalomaniac sociopsychopaths. They're insane. But because we're not, they look at us like we are insane and we're peasants and we should be killed at their whim. But,
and they have been laughing up their sleeves at us for the longest time.
They used Agent Orange on our soldiers in Vietnam, and now they're using depleted uranium on our soldiers in the Middle East.
Yeah, right, that's true. Exactly. And giving them shots that are insidious. But they see us like the people of the Revolutionary War times. They sat and did nothing except write letters. And it got to the point to where people said, enough's enough, about 5%, and stood up and fought. But this government's the same way. It's like, yeah, we're going to do this, and what are you going to do about it? Nothing but complain. And that's all people ever do, if that. They complain. Nobody ever stands up and says, you crossed the line.
You're right.
People
keep
on moving the line.
Yeah. Go ahead real quick there, Jim. We have one more caller on the line.
Well, all I'm going to say is
this. Her on in a minute.
Okay, all I'm going to say is that it's safer to stand up and speak out now than ever before. And if you're sitting on a story which we need to know about, care about us enough. We are a team at Freedom Reigns. This is not Deatra, this isn't Terry, this isn't me, this isn't Drake. It isn't Will. we are a team, and there's a great diversity in us because we have different areas of knowledge. And the simple truth of the matter is that there's something you need to bring forth. Now's the time to do it.